What up, guys? Here in beautiful California at a little viewpoint, and just wanted to shoot this video while it's fresh on my mind. I paid $5,000 to go to a private Alex Hormozi event. There was only 70 people there. His whole portfolio team that helps him scale his $100 million companies were there, so I got to speak with them. And in this video, I'm going to outline everything I learned from that event, or what I guess there's no option but to choose what lessons you took from the event. And these both include lessons that I was taught and just kind of like maybe like reinforcing ideas that I already knew I should be working on, and then perhaps just me observing like the event as a whole. I do Miami Sellers Conference, and so watching him throw his event his way, from everything from the emails to the presentation to the speakers to what he's choosing to focus on as an entrepreneur and at the level of an entrepreneur he is, and how I interpreted those lessons. So hopefully that makes sense. I was able to ask him questions directly, which is really cool. So if you guys don't know Alex Hormozi, you should go follow him on YouTube and watch every single video of his. He's very articulate. He was a Vanderbilt student. His dad wanted him to be a doctor. He was going to be a doctor, and then he chose to go the entrepreneurial route. He started helping gyms out, making them more profitable in the first like few months, and then he took a percent of the profit, and that's how he became a millionaire. And then now he owns acquisition.com, which is a company that acquires, and he's only 31, 32 years old. He's fucking young. So my point is, this guy knows his shit. So on day 2, I was able to ask him a question. I think the question I asked him was like, hey, you had to introduce your business like a certain way. Like, hey, this is what I'm doing in revenue. This is what I want to do in revenue. And this is what I believe my constraint is. So every business, whether you're running an Amazon FBA book business or a wholesale business or a software business like I am, that's the business I'm attempting to grow, is go-to lister. There's always going to be a constraint in your business. And where was I going with that? So you had to say what your constraint was in the question. So my constraint, I believe, is I need to get more attention on go-to lister. I need to get more leads. I need to spread the awareness. Nobody knows about your business. That's something Alex always says. Like, nobody knows about your company. Like, keep posting, keep advertising. And so I still believe that's my constraint, but he looked at me and he said, you know, you have to be patient. And he knows I'm growing a SaaS company. He could tell by like the goal that I told him that I wanted to hit. He knows I'm ambitious, and I didn't put like a timeline on. I wasn't like I want to hit this by next year, but I do want to hit this eventually, and I know I can hit it. But he just said be patient, you know, and that was really reinforcing. And you know, he said rush is imaginary. Like you put rush on yourself. And then I added to that, he may or may not have said this, but I think competition is also imaginary, because for the component of rush, you ever heard the song like, I'm in a hurry to get things done, I rush and rush until life's no fun. It's basically that. Like, rush is something, it's like a imaginary constraint, an imaginary deadline that you set on yourself, and it just puts you in this negative state and just fucks up your complete vibe as a business owner. So rush, whenever you feel rushed, just know that it's imaginary. And then I added competition's imaginary too, because who are you competing against? What are you comparing to? And his whole thing was like, if you focus and you lay your business, like if you focus just on the fundamentals, you know exactly what you should be doing to get new customers, to make them happy, to build a good product, lay things brick by brick, and you're not in a rush, then eventually the competition just goes away. Everyone else who you're competing against, and maybe they don't, but a lot of them will, is the truth. And at the end of the day, like, if you focus on the fundamentals and you focus on what needs to be done, and you don't, you know, get sidetracked by the woman in the red dress, which is a very, very, very real threat to anybody's business, is the woman in the red dress. The woman in the red dress is the other opportunity, the private label product you want to start, the wholesale deal you want to get, the online arbitrage lead somebody just texted you, No, focus on your main thing. If you're building an Amazon FBA book business, focus 100% on that. I have a friend in Canada, Vishal. He's doing like over $1 million profit every year. He's gonna be able to retire from that if he focuses. And he's focusing on one thing, or he focused on one thing until that got to the point where it's doing that much in revenue. So for me, I have many women in the red dress that are very attractive, that steal my attention, many of which I just listed. And, you know, at the end of the day, like, my focus is go to lister, and I need to cut everything else out, focus 100% of my work on that, and focus on the constraint, which is getting leads. So posting more content, posting better content, posting content more often, posting it faster. That's another concept of Alex Hormozi is, if you're ever wondering like how to grow your business, do whatever you're doing better. So posting content, make the content better, do it faster, and just do more of it. I think that's it. Better, faster, more, pretty sure. Yeah, I really enjoy like the Hormozi's philosophy because they make things easy to remember and understand. So that's a big one, you know, for me, is to be patient, don't be in a rush, realize rush is imaginary. If you're trying to get somewhere fast, if you're always taking actions to go from like 0 to 10 million, then, and you want to accomplish that in like 1 year, he explained it this way, like, you may never get there. But if you are trying to go from 0 to 10 million over a 10-year period, then it's almost inevitable that you get there. Because if you're just trying to get there fast, you're only doing fast actions to get there. Whereas if you're okay with it taking a while, then you're focusing on the fundamentals. You're focusing on the brick by brick approach. You're focusing on what actually works. You're focusing on the boring things to do every single day for months that feel like you're getting no progress, that are absolutely guaranteeing your success in the long run. And we all know what they are. We all know what they are. You know, business isn't rocket science. Like, you know what to do to grow your business. For Amazon, it's finding a good product, it's listing the product, it's selling the product, repricing the product. Set up systems for those. Focus most of your efforts on the constraint, which is probably finding good product. And then, you know, your effort should always go wherever the constraint is. And so another meta lesson I took away was I really need to focus on my personal brand. So I really need to build my personal brand over the next decade in a way that, for me, and what will make my soul feel good and allow me to sleep at night. And I honestly believe, like, making me the most money too is just really like film myself and document my journey in the most authentic, truthful way possible. Another thing they always say is state the facts, tell the truth, like when you're on a sales call. And so I think I need to do a much better job at that by just posting more, documenting more. And I think my personal brand can grow so much. And I just need to put the reps in, and don't forget that that's a huge, huge part of my business growth over the years, no matter what business I go into. So I need to just keep that momentum with my personal brand. So I'm going to put a lot of effort into that. It was so cool talking to his portfolio team. You know, I got to talk with the guy behind his book launch for $100 million leads and see what his opinion was on GoToLister's affiliate program and how we can do better and how we should have an affiliate dashboard or an affiliate leaderboard. And I'm gonna start doing webinars again every week. I used to do webinars every week in 2020, and we had like 800 people in the webinars. I'm gonna start doing those again, teaching people the basics, the fundamentals of selling books on Amazon, as simple as possible, really dumbing down these concepts, getting people from point A to point B, from $0 to $10,000 a month in sales if they take actions on the core fundamental principles that I'm teaching as quickly as possible. I've been doing this shit for years now. I actually started this years ago. I think I'm pretty close to the Pacific Coast Highway. The ocean's right over that way. And years ago, I was living in my car, driving up this way, and I just found out about library sales. And I would go to library sales and pack up my Toyota Corolla. Now I'm driving this Ford Bronco. It's a rental car. And I would ship all the books to Amazon FBA. So I've been doing this shit for a minute. I've traveled to almost every single state finding books. I've helped hundreds of students build $1,000 Amazon book businesses. So now it's just a matter of like really honing in on that, becoming a better teacher, and just getting people results faster, getting more attention, and ultimately growing GoToLister, and then eventually get GoToLister. We already have all types of the Amazon sellers using GoToLister, wholesalers, we have RA people, but then really graduating and getting GoToLister beyond booksellers. You know, this is a multi-year vision to service all Amazon sellers, because we have not stopped developing this product. We've been super product focused, which I'm glad Hormozy said, like, focus on the product, make it a good product. That was the second part of his answer, was like, make sure less people are leaving your software than referring your software. If you get a higher ratio of people referring your software than leaving your software, you reach this viral, I forget the exact word for it, it's in my notes, viral quotient, that's not even a word. you reach this viral component. And so really being product focused and making this the best ever, which we're adding net profit. So that's something Inventory Lab has that they've been really good at, but we're about to have a better looking net profit than them. Simpler, distilled, kind of same thing with making GoToLister. It's like the same thing with my content, like making these concepts easy and able to understand. It's the same thing with the software I'm building, is like, and Dom does a fucking amazing job of making the software very simple. So just focusing on making it like such a sticky software. And I'm gonna raise the price too. He said raise prices, so I gotta raise the price of GoToLister. I'm thinking like $89 a month, because we have some really cool stuff coming. So it's gonna be like, it's gonna pay for itself. So over the years, probably soon, raise the price. Not on existing users, only for new people. So if you got GoToLister now, you're locked in at the price. But I'm just like spitballing ideas. You know, none of this is like set in stone, but this is just what I learned from the event. There's a lot more. It was so cool to talk with this team. Like, I'm probably gonna go back to this event frequently, and probably buy his more expensive programs too. So that's what I learned. Much love. Catch you guys soon.